Have you ever dreamed of a place where ancient jungles hum with life, and the ocean glows with 1,000 different colors? A place where monkeys chatter in the treetops and giant rays glide through crystal-clear waters. This isn't a fantasy, this is Indonesia. This vast archipelago, a collection of over 17,000 islands scattered across the equator, is one of the most biodiverse places on our planet. It's a land of fiery volcanoes, emerald rainforests, and beaches so perfect they look like they've been painted. It's a real-life treasure chest of nature's greatest wonders, and we're about to go on an expedition to unlock some of its most incredible secrets. Our adventure will take us to 3 very special regions. First, we'll explore Bali, an island famous for its vibrant culture, but also home to stunning natural landscapes and unique wildlife. Then, we'll journey east to the Maluku Islands, the legendary spice islands that were once the most sought-after destination on Earth, not just for their valuable cloves and nutmeg, but also for their pristine reefs and colorful bird life. Finally, we'll venture to the wild frontier of West Papua, the western half of New Guinea, a land of dense, unexplored rainforests and some of the most extraordinary creatures you could ever imagine. This is a journey into the wild heart of the world, so get your gear ready. The sheer scale of life here is mind-boggling. Indonesia is part of the Coral Triangle, an area with more marine species than anywhere else on Earth. On land, it's home to tigers, rhinos, orangutans, and thousands of species of birds, reptiles, and insects, many of which are found nowhere else. This incredible richness is because the islands have been isolated for millions of years, allowing evolution to run wild and create a unique cast of characters. From the smallest pygmy seahorse hiding in a fan of coral to the mighty Komodo dragon stalking its prey, Indonesia is a living laboratory of evolution. It's a place that constantly reminds you how powerful and creative nature can be. This expedition is more than just about seeing amazing animals and beautiful scenery. It's about understanding why these places are so special and so fragile. As we explore the rice terraces of Ubud, dive with manta rays off Nusa Penida, and trek through the jungles of West Papua, we'll see firsthand the delicate balance of these ecosystems. We'll learn how every single creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest whale, plays a vital role. This journey is a call to action. It's a reminder that these wild paradises are a global treasure, and we all have a responsibility to protect them for the generations of explorers and nature lovers yet to come. The adventure begins now. Our first stop is the island of Bali, and we're heading inland, away from the famous beaches, to a place where the landscape itself feels alive. Welcome to the rice terraces of Ubud. These aren't just ordinary fields, they are ancient, intricate sculptures carved into the hillsides over centuries. The subak system, a traditional irrigation method dating back to the 9th century, channels water from rivers and springs through a complex network of canals, temples, and tunnels. This ingenious system allows farmers to grow rice on steep slopes, creating a breathtaking panorama of cascading green steppes that seem to flow down the valleys. It's a perfect example of how people can work in harmony with nature. Walking through these terraces is like stepping into another world. The air is fresh and filled with the sound of trickling water and the gentle rustle of rice stalks in the breeze. You can see farmers in their conical hats tending to their crops, their families having worked this same land for generations. This isn't just agriculture, it's a living culture. The water temples that dot the landscape are central to the subak system, as priests and farmers meet to coordinate planting and watering schedules, ensuring everyone gets their fair share. It's a beautiful, sustainable system that has created one of the most iconic and serene landscapes on the planet, a true green kingdom. But Bali's inland beauty doesn't stop with the rice fields. Hidden away in the northern jungles are some of the most spectacular waterfalls you will ever see. Our destination is Sekumpul Waterfall, often called the most beautiful in Bali. Getting there is an adventure in itself, involving a trek down hundreds of steps, across rivers and through lush rainforest packed with ferns, coffee plants, and towering tropical trees. The journey builds the anticipation, and as you get closer, you can hear the thunderous roar of water echoing through the canyon. You feel the cool spray on your face long before you see the main event. And then, you see it. Sekumpul isn't just one waterfall. It's a collection of at least 7 separate cascades pouring down a sheer, verdant cliff face from a height of around 80 meters. The sight is absolutely stunning. Water plummets into a deep pool below, creating a powerful mist that catches the sunlight and forms rainbows in the air. It's a raw display of nature's power and beauty. Standing at the base, dwarfed by the immense scale of the falls, you feel a sense of awe and wonder. These waterfalls are the lifeblood of the island, feeding the rivers that, in turn, irrigate the beautiful rice terraces we just explored, connecting the entire ecosystem in one perfect, flowing cycle. Just a short boat ride southeast of Bali lies a trio of islands, but we're heading to the biggest and wildest of them all, Nusa Penida. This is a world away from the mainland. It's rugged, untamed, and jaw-droppingly beautiful. The island is made of limestone, and over millennia, the relentless power of the Indian Ocean has carved its coastline into a dramatic spectacle of towering cliffs, natural arches, and secluded coves. Our first mission here is to witness one of the most famous views in all of Indonesia, King Beach. From the cliff top, the headland below looks exactly like the shape of a Tyrannosaurus rex, with its head jutting out into the turquoise water. The view from the top is one thing, but the real adventure is the treacherous trek down to the pristine white sand beach below. The path is steep and rustic, a true test for any explorer, but the reward is immense. Down at sea level, you are surrounded by colossal cliffs, with waves crashing onto a shore that feels completely cut off from the rest of the world. It's a humbling experience to stand on that beach, feeling the raw power of the ocean and the ancient presence of the cliffs. Nusa Penida is full of these hidden gems, like Broken Beach, a huge circular cove with a natural archway that allows the ocean to flow in and out, creating a spectacular natural swimming pool. But the real magic of Nusa Penida for me is what lies beneath the waves. The waters surrounding the island are a designated marine protected area, and they are a magnet for some of the ocean's most magnificent giants. This is one of the best places in the world to swim with the majestic oceanic manta ray. These gentle giants, which can have a wingspan of up to 7 meters, congregate at cleaning stations like Manta Point. Here, small cleaner fish nibble away parasites from their skin. Watching these enormous, graceful creatures glide effortlessly through the water, like underwater birds, is an experience that will stay with you forever. They are intelligent, curious, and utterly breathtaking. The marine life doesn't stop with mantas. The currents around Nusa Penida, while strong, bring nutrient-rich waters from the deep ocean, supporting an incredible diversity of life. During the right season, from July to October, you might even be lucky enough to spot the bizarre and elusive mola, or ocean sunfish. This is the heaviest bony fish in the world, and it looks like a giant swimming head. They come up from the depths to the shallower reefs to get cleaned by fish, offering a rare glimpse for lucky divers. From vibrant coral gardens teeming with tropical fish to encounters with sea turtles and these ocean giants, Nusa Penida is a world-class destination for anyone who loves the sea. While the landscapes are stunning, it's the animals that truly bring Bali to life. Deep in the island's forests and sacred sites, you'll find a cast of fascinating creatures. One of the most famous and charismatic is the long-tailed macaque. You'll find troops of them at places like the Ubud Monkey Forest, a sacred sanctuary where they are protected and revered. Watching them is like getting a window into a complex primate society. You can see mothers carefully grooming their infants, youngsters playfully chasing each other through the temple ruins, and dominant males keeping a watchful eye over their group. They are incredibly intelligent, curious, and yes, a little bit cheeky. These macaques have adapted brilliantly to living alongside humans, but it's important to remember that they are wild animals. Their social structures are fascinating. The troops are female bonded, meaning the females stay in the group they were born in for their entire lives, forming strong alliances. The males, on the other hand, leave their birth troop when they reach adolescence to find a new group to join. This behavior helps to ensure genetic diversity. Observing their interactions, their squabbles, their moments of tenderness, and their complex hierarchy is a lesson in animal behavior, and a reminder that we share this planet with other intelligent social beings. Moving from the forest floor to the treetops, we search for one of Bali's most precious and endangered jewels, the Bali myna. This bird is absolutely stunning. It's almost entirely pure white, with black wingtips and a brilliant featherless blue patch of skin around its eyes. Its beauty, unfortunately, has been its downfall. The Bali myna is one of the most desirable birds in the illegal pet trade, and this, combined with habitat loss, has pushed it to the brink of extinction. In the wild, it is critically endangered, with only a small number of individuals surviving in the protected forests of West Bali National Park. Seeing a Bali myna in its natural habitat is an incredibly rare privilege. Conservation efforts are underway, with breeding and reintroduction programs working tirelessly to save this iconic species. These birds are a powerful symbol of what is at stake. They are unique to Bali. They exist nowhere else on Earth. Their fate is a stark reminder of our responsibility to protect wildlife from illegal trade and to preserve the habitats they need to survive. Every Bali myna that flies free in the forests of the national park represents a small victory for conservation and a beacon of hope for the future of endangered species across the globe. Now it's time to leave the land behind, take a deep breath, and plunge into the incredible underwater world of Indonesia. The seas here are part of the legendary Coral Triangle, an area often called the Amazon of the oceans. It's the global epicenter of marine biodiversity, containing over 75% of the world's known coral species and more than 2,000 species of reef fish. When you dip your head beneath the surface, you are entering a bustling, vibrant metropolis made of coral. The colors are dazzling, with reefs forming intricate structures of every shape and size imaginable, towering walls, delicate fans, and massive brain-like boulders. These coral reefs are not just beautiful. They are critically important ecosystems. They act as nurseries for countless fish species, providing food and shelter for a huge variety of marine life. They also protect coastlines from storm surges and erosion. Snorkeling or diving here is, honestly, like swimming through a living kaleidoscope. Schools of bright yellow butterfly fish drift past. A shy clownfish peeks out from the stinging tentacles of its anemone home, and a majestic sea turtle might glide gracefully by, on its way to the surface for a breath of air. The sheer density and variety of life is staggering. Everywhere you look, there is something new and amazing to see. Our underwater exploration takes us from the rich waters around Bali to the even more pristine and remote reefs of Maluku and West Papua. In places like Raja Ampat in West Papua, scientists have recorded more species of fish and coral in a single dive site than in the entire Caribbean Sea. Here you can find creatures straight out of a fantasy novel. We're talking about the walking shark, a species of epaulet shark that literally walks along the seabed on its fins, and the flamboyant cuttlefish, which can flash mesmerizing patterns of color across its body. The pygmy seahorse, no bigger than your fingernail, camouflages itself perfectly on a sea fan. This underwater universe is a paradise for divers and snorkelers, but it's also a fragile one. Coral reefs around the world are facing threats from climate change, which causes coral bleaching, as well as from pollution and destructive fishing practices. The protected marine areas in Indonesia are vital for safeguarding this incredible biodiversity. By supporting responsible tourism and conservation efforts, we can help ensure that these underwater gardens continue to thrive. Exploring these reefs is a powerful experience that connects you directly to the health of our oceans and inspires a deep desire to protect this magnificent hidden world for future generations to explore. Our expedition now takes us east, into the heart of history, to the Maluku Islands. For centuries, these islands were a secret, the only place on Earth where cloves, nutmeg, and mace grew. These spices were worth more than their weight in gold in medieval Europe, and they launched the Age of Discovery as nations raced to find and control their source. Today, the islands are much quieter, but their natural treasures are as valuable as ever. We're heading into the dense rainforests that still cloak many of these volcanic islands, a habitat that holds some unique and spectacular wildlife, especially when it comes to birds. The forests here are alive with sound, the air buzzes with insects, and echoes with the calls of birds found nowhere else on the planet. The isolation of the Maluku archipelago has led to an explosion of evolution, creating a host of endemic species. This is the realm of colorful parrots and cockatoos. We're on the lookout for the brilliant red and green plumage of the Moluccan king parrot and the striking salmon-crested cockatoo, a large, intelligent bird with a beautiful pinkish crest that it raises when excited or alarmed. These birds play a vital role in the forest ecosystem, dispersing seeds and helping the rainforest to regenerate. Beyond the birds, the forests themselves are a botanical wonderland. The very trees that sparked global trade still grow here. You can find the Myristica fragrans tree, the source of both nutmeg, from its seed, and mace, from the red covering on the seed. You can also find the clove tree, with its fragrant flower buds that are harvested and dried. Walking through these forests is like taking a step back in time. The air is thick with the rich, spicy aromas that once drew explorers across the world's oceans. It's a powerful connection to the past, a living museum of botanical and human history. The treasures of Maluku are not confined to the land. The Banda Sea, which surrounds these islands, holds some of the deepest waters in Indonesia and boasts some of the most pristine and biodiverse coral reefs you will ever see. Because of their remote location, these reefs have been largely sheltered from the pressures that affect other areas. Diving here feels like you are the first person to ever explore it. You'll find colossal sea fans, massive barrel sponges, and sheer walls of coral dropping off into the deep blue. The fish life is spectacular, with huge schools of fusiliers, jacks and barracuda, and a healthy population of reef sharks patrolling the edges of the reef. The Spice Islands' greatest treasure today is their untouched natural beauty. For the final leg of our Indonesian expedition, we are venturing to the wildest and most remote region of all, West Papua. This is the western half of the island of New Guinea, the second largest island in the world. It's a land of superlatives, home to the highest peak in Indonesia, Puncak Jaya, and some of the largest tracts of untouched rainforest on Earth. This is a true frontier, a place where new species are still being discovered, and where many areas remain largely unexplored by outsiders. The biodiversity here is off the charts, representing a significant portion of Indonesia's total species, even though it covers a relatively small part of the country's land area. The jungles of West Papua are like nowhere else. They are dense, humid, and teeming with life that has evolved in isolation for millions of years. This is the land of the bizarre and the beautiful. Here you can find tree kangaroos, marsupials that have adapted to a life in the canopy, and the long-beaked echidna, an ancient egg-laying mammal that looks like a cross between an anteater and a hedgehog. The insect life is equally strange and wonderful, with giant stick insects that look like branches and butterflies with wingspans as wide as a dinner plate. Every step you take in this jungle could reveal a creature that science has never seen before. Of course, the most famous residents of these forests are the incredible birds of paradise. There are around 40 species in the world, and the vast majority of them live only here in New Guinea. The males are famous for their mind-blowingly elaborate plumage and bizarre courtship dances. We're talking about birds with iridescent feathers that shimmer in every color of the rainbow, wire-like tail plumes that curl over their heads, and capes of feathers that they can transform into strange shapes to impress a female. Witnessing the dance of a bird of paradise like the western parotia transforming itself into a ballerina skirt is one of the greatest spectacles in the natural world. Protecting West Papua is of global importance. These rainforests act as a massive carbon sink, absorbing vast amounts of carbon dioxide and helping to regulate the world's climate. They are also home to many indigenous communities who have lived in harmony with this environment for thousands of years and possess an immense wealth of traditional ecological knowledge. As the modern world encroaches, these forests and the unique cultures they support are under threat. Exploring this last frontier is a powerful reminder that there are still truly wild places left on Earth, and it is our collective duty to ensure they remain that way for the future of the planet and all its inhabitants. Indonesia is a dream destination for anyone with a camera and a sense of adventure. It's a place where every turn in the path, every dive beneath the waves, presents an opportunity to capture something truly extraordinary. For a wildlife photographer, the challenges are immense, but the rewards are unparalleled. It takes patience to sit for hours in a humid jungle hide, waiting for a reclusive bird of paradise to begin its dance. It requires skill to handle your camera gear in the challenging underwater environment, while a 7-meter manta ray glides just inches away. But capturing that perfect moment, the glint in a macaque's eye, the vibrant colors of a coral reef, is an incredible feeling. Landscape photographers are equally spoiled for choice. How do you capture the sheer scale of the Sekumpul waterfalls, or the ethereal morning mist rising over the Ubud rice terraces? How do you do justice to the dramatic, wave-battered cliffs of Nusa Penida as the sun sets over the Indian Ocean? These landscapes are so powerful and dynamic that they seem to demand to be photographed. Chasing the light, from the soft glow of dawn over a volcanic peak to the fiery colors of sunset on a deserted beach, is a constant pursuit. Every image tells a story of geological time, of the power of water, and of the enduring beauty of the natural world. But you don't need to be a professional photographer to appreciate this paradise. For any nature lover, simply being in these environments is a profound experience. It's about the feeling of the cool forest air on your skin, the sound of 1,000 unknown creatures calling from the canopy, and the sense of wonder as you float weightlessly over a garden of coral. It's an opportunity to disconnect from the noise of our daily lives and reconnect with something more fundamental. It's about observing the intricate details of an orchid, watching a column of ants march across the forest floor, or simply sitting on a beach and watching the tide roll in. These experiences are transformative. They foster a deep appreciation for the complexity and beauty of the natural world. They can inspire a lifelong passion for conservation and a desire to learn more about the planet we call home. Whether you are an adrenaline junkie looking to scale a volcano, a diver wanting to explore a new reef, or simply someone seeking peace and tranquility in a beautiful setting, Indonesia offers it all. It's a playground for the curious, a studio for the creative, and a sanctuary for the soul. The adventures you have here, and the memories you make will last a lifetime. Our journey through the wild heart of Indonesia, from the green terraces of Bali to the last frontiers of West Papua, has shown us a world of breathtaking beauty and staggering biodiversity. We've seen nature at its most creative, powerful, and fragile. We've encountered animals that seem to have been dreamed up in a fantasy novel and landscapes that stir the soul. But this paradise is not invincible. The very things that make Indonesia so special, its rich resources, its unique wildlife, and its beautiful land, are facing unprecedented threats from deforestation, plastic pollution, the illegal wildlife trade, and a changing climate. The mission to protect this natural heritage is one of the most important conservation challenges of our time. It's a fight being waged on many fronts. In the forests, rangers patrol to prevent illegal logging and poaching, working to protect flagship species like the Bali myna and the tree kangaroo. In the oceans, marine protected areas are being established to safeguard coral reefs and allow fish populations to recover. Local communities are becoming the guardians of their own natural resources, developing sustainable livelihoods like ecotourism that provide an alternative to destructive practices. These efforts are a beacon of hope against a rising tide of environmental pressures. As visitors and explorers, we have a crucial role to play in this mission. The choices we make can make a real difference. We can choose to support responsible tour operators who respect wildlife and contribute to local communities. We can reduce our use of single-use plastics to help keep the oceans clean. We can educate ourselves and others about the threats facing these ecosystems and support the conservation organizations that are working on the ground to combat them. Our curiosity and passion for nature can be a powerful force for good, showing that these wild places have more value left standing than they do cleared. The future of Indonesia's wild legacy hangs in the balance. It depends on the continued dedication of conservationists, the commitment of the government, and the active participation of local communities. But it also depends on us, the global community of nature lovers, to care about what happens to these places. The birds of paradise, the manta rays, the ancient rainforests, they are not just Indonesia's treasures. They are a part of our planet's shared natural heritage. By working together, we can ensure that future generations will have the chance to experience the same sense of wonder and adventure that we have on this expedition, and that the wild heart of Indonesia continues to beat strong for centuries to come.